When you spend enough time outdoors, you start realizing it's not the fancy stuff that keeps you alive. It's the gear that quietly does its job when things get rough. That's what tactical survival gear is all about. So, in this video, we'll talk about 30 tactical survival gear you should consider for survival situations. And for your convenience, we've put the updated prices and purchase links down in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's begin. A regular belt usually doesn't get much attention in the survival gear world, but the Slidebelt Survival Belt 2 changes that. The magic's all in the buckle. It hides 4 handy tools: a sharp AUS-8 stainless steel knife, a ferrocerium fire starter that still sparks when damp, a small LED flashlight, and, of course, a bottle opener for the calmer moments. The belt itself isn't just along for the ride either. It's tough, waterproof, heat-resistant, and built to hold up when things get rough. In survival scenarios, the cordage can help with shelter setup. The knife takes care of cutting, the fire starter gives you warmth or a way to cook, and the flashlight keeps you moving after dark. You can wear it with jeans or outdoor pants, and no one would guess you're carrying a full mini survival kit on your waist. It's not meant to replace a proper knife or flashlight, but that's kind of the point. It's practical, low-profile gear that's ready when you need it. You need a blade that doesn't slow you down but can still handle serious tasks, and the cold steel Mini-Tac Tanto fits that role. It's small, under a 4-inch blade, yet smartly made from AUS-8A, stainless shaped into that classic Tanto profile. At under 3 ounces, you can carry it comfortably all day. It ships with a Securex sheath and a bead chain lanyard, so you can wear it around your neck or clip it to gear for quick access. The slim G10 handle scales keep the knife tucked close to your body, staying discreet until you pull it out. The blade is thin, under 3 millimeters, so it's not meant for heavy prying or hammering wood. As a backup or secondary knife, though, it performs well. In survival use, it excels at fine tasks like carving traps, slicing food, or making precise medical cuts. The Tanto tip gives added confidence when you need to push into tougher material. So, while it won't replace a large bushcraft blade, the Mini-Tac Tanto is exactly the kind of EDC you can count on daily and carry it without fuss. Fire isn't something you want to gamble with when survival's on the line, and the InstaFire Tactical Kit makes sure you don't have to. Instead of banking on one lighter or one rod, this kit gives you multiple ways to get a flame going, and even packs its own weatherproof fuel. You get a pocket plasma lighter with an arc-style flame that laughs at wind, rain, and snow. It even doubles as a 100-lumen flashlight that'll run a couple of hours on a charge, and the bendable neck lets you direct the arc right where you need it. Then there's the ferro rod, the classic spark thrower that works even when it's soaked. The kit also includes 2 fire starter pouches that burn hot through wind and rain, strong enough to boil water or cook a quick meal, and fire ropes that act as durable, pocket-sized tinder you can depend on in any weather. The real advantage here is redundancy. You've got multiple ignition methods and dependable fuel, all tucked into one grab-and-go pouch. Whether you're cold, hungry, purifying water, or signaling for rescue, this kit takes the uncertainty out of fire-making, and that peace of mind is worth its weight in gold. Here's something that looks totally ordinary until you know what it does. The Ankaka 7-in-1 Tactical Pen. At first look, you'd think it's just a pen you'd bring to a meeting, but tucked inside are several survival tools that stay low-key until you need them. It writes smoothly, includes extra ink refills, and the threaded grip gives a solid feel in hand. Beyond writing, the cap hides a flashlight with 2 modes, normal and an emergency strobe, and the carbide tip can serve as a glass breaker or a defensive point if you press it. The body houses a bottle opener, a screwdriver, and a hex wrench, and the package even includes spare batteries to keep the light running. Because so many functions are packed into one tool, those smaller bits can be a little fiddly to get to when you're stressed, and the flashlight battery won't last forever under heavy use. You can take this anywhere, on a plane, into the office, or out into the woods. Then, If something unexpected happens, you suddenly have a light, a breaker, a small toolkit, and a pen all together. It's about being ready without making a scene. When all your high-tech lighters stop working, you're going to want something that just works. And that's exactly where the Uberleben Hexa Firestarter comes in. This thing isn't built for a weekend or two of camping. It's designed to last and handle real use. Instead of being round like most ferro rods, it's got a hex shape. 6 flat sides mean better contact when you strike it, which translates to more sparks, big, hot ones, flying straight into your tinder. It uses Uberleben's own Sumpft Core ferrocerium blend, which lights up reliably, even if you're up in the mountains or stuck in the rain. Each rod is a solid half-inch thick and rated for over 20,000 strikes, so you're good to go for the long haul. You can pick from 2 lengths, and it weighs just a few ounces. It also comes with a full-grain leather lanyard and a multi-tool scraper that does more than just throw sparks. It's handy for other campsite jobs too. It's not trying to look cool or flashy. This is the backup that doesn't quit. When your lighter's empty and your matches are soaked, the Hexa still gets a fire going, whether it's to stay warm, cook something, or signal for help. Some knives are fine for light camp tasks, but then there's the Schrade SCHF52, which is built to take serious punishment. This is the kind of blade you reach for when you're chopping, batoning, or prying, and can't risk your knife giving out. It's made from tough 1095 carbon steel with a full tang design, so the strength runs straight through to the end of the handle. The blade itself is around 7 inches and shaped with a drop point, which gives you a solid mix of chopping force and control for finer cuts. Overall, it measures just over 13 inches, and while it's definitely on the larger side, people still talk about how well-balanced and sharp it feels right out of the box. The handle's textured TPE material gives a secure grip, even if your hands are wet, muddy, or freezing. What really adds to its usefulness is the sheath. It's not just a holder. It comes with a ferro rod, a striker, and even a sharpening stone. So, you've basically got your fire-starting gear and blade maintenance all riding with your main tool. As a survival knife, this thing can do it all: splitting wood, shelter building, food prep, and emergency tasks that would wreck a flimsier blade. People often skip gloves when packing survival gear, but hands are your most important tools. Lose their use and everything suddenly gets tougher. That's exactly where HWI Gear's TFR100 fast rope gloves come in. They're made specifically to stand up to heat and friction from rope work like rappelling or fast roping, situations where bare hands would get shredded fast. Palms and fingers use thick goatskin leather, backed with thermal reflective lining and shock-absorbing foam so heat won't eat through. The glove backs are a flexible knit with extra leather over the knuckles, so you get real protection without sacrificing movement. In survival or tactical moments, these gloves do more than protect skin. They let you set up rope systems to gather water, climb out of tight spots, rappel in an emergency, or handle rough materials without shredding your hands. Without them, a rope burn or hand injury could stop you from erecting shelter or lugging gear. With them, you keep your grip, keep your hands whole, and stay in the fight or make your escape. Next up is the ThruNite TT20, a flashlight that hits that sweet spot between raw power and everyday practicality. At the heart of it is a rechargeable 21,700 battery with a solid 5,000 mAh capacity, so you're getting long run times without constantly needing to recharge. And when you do, it's simple. Just plug into the built-in USB-C port. No more fumbling with outdated micro USB cables. As for brightness, the SST70 LED cranks out over 2,500 lumens in turbo mode. That's enough to light up a backyard, a trail, or even a full garage door without breaking a sweat. What really makes it flexible is the dual switch system. You've got a tail switch for instant full blast, perfect in a pinch, and a side button that lets you scroll through brightness levels or fine-tune it to what you need. It even remembers your last setting, so you're not always resetting it every time you turn it on. Some of the smaller features are just as useful. There's a Firefly mode that runs ultra-low and sips battery for weeks, plus a strobe mode for signaling or emergencies. a two-way clip, lanyard holes, and the ability to tail stand for ceiling bounce lighting rounded out, making the TT20 just as handy in everyday use as it is when things go sideways. Out in the wild, a solid cutting tool isn't just nice to have, it's key to making it through. That's where the Gransfors Outdoor Axe really earns its keep. It was designed with input from survival expert Lars Felt, so this isn't just some camp hatchet with a fancy name. It's built to take on serious jobs when you're deep off the grid. Weighing in at just a pound, it might seem light, but don't let that throw you. The head is elongated for better chopping power, and the handle gives you just enough reach to make real swings count. You can even take down a small tree if the situation calls for it. There's also a steel collar near the head to protect the handle, so splitting smaller logs or kindling won't destroy it over time. And the edge? Comes sharp and stays that way longer than most people expect. Around camp, it's great for trimming branches, splitting firewood, carving, or even some food prep. But if things go sideways, this little axe can quickly become your go-to tool. Building shelter, cutting firewood, shaping traps, whatever the day throws at you. It also packs easily with a vegetable-tanned leather sheath, keeping it safe and ready to grab when things get real. Not every survival tool needs to be sharp, heavy, or high-tech. Sometimes it's the simplest thing that ends up saving your skin, like Atwood 550 Paracord. This stuff's been around since World War II, and there's a reason it's still a staple. It's not just any cord, it's made to tough military specs, so you know it'll hold up when it counts. Inside, you've got 7 individual strands that can be pulled apart and used on their own, which gives you a surprising amount of usable line from one length of cord. That versatility is really where it shines. With a minimum breaking strength of 550 pounds, it's strong enough for serious use, but still light, compact, and easy to stash. Whether it's in your pack, tucked in a glove box, or woven into something like a bracelet or belt. Being 100% nylon, it holds up against UV, stays tough, and meets Berry compliance standards, so you know it's legit. It even has that inner core tracer that proves it's genuine mil-spec. What can you do with it? Pretty much anything. Use it to rig a shelter, hang gear, bundle firewood, fix broken straps, build snares, or even whip up a tourniquet in a pinch. When things go sideways, this little piece of cord turns into your all-purpose problem solver. When the lights go out, whether it's a power cut, a storm, or any survival scenario you can think of, a weak flashlight can leave you fumbling in the dark. That's where the Tank007 WK1 really steps in as a lifesaver. It's not your regular flashlight. It's built with a rotatable head that lets you pivot the beam angle up to 180 degrees. Meaning, instead of twisting your wrist or holding it awkwardly, you just turn the head and adjust where you want the light to shine. Super handy for fixing gear, reading a map, or even working under a hood at night. Now let's talk about brightness. In spotlight mode, it pushes 1400 lumens and throws light up to 200 meters. Perfect when you need to see far ahead. Switch to floodlight mode, and you still get a strong 800 lumens, great for lighting up close spaces. Add in a magnetic base, 9 quick modes with 1 tap, and a runtime that can stretch up to 80 hours, and you're looking at serious reliability. Plus, it's IPX6 waterproof and can handle a 1-meter drop, which makes it rugged enough for preppers. What makes it stand out is versatility. When you're stuck in cramped spaces or stressful repair situations, this light adapts, so you're not fighting the darkness and your gear at the same time. Clearing thick brush, chopping firewood, or building shelter isn't the time for a delicate little blade. You need raw chopping power. That's exactly what the Tops Knives Chete brings to the table. This beast packs a 12-inch blade made from 1/4-inch thick 1095 high-carbon steel, which basically means it's designed to take a beating day after day without failing you. Weighing just under 2 pounds, it has enough heft to generate serious chopping force, yet it's still manageable for longer use. People who use it swear by how it powers through tough stuff like bamboo and even ironwood. Sure, some mention that its weight can be tiring if you're trying to do small, delicate tasks, but that's not what this machete is meant for. The green and black micarta handle feels almost like a hatchet handle, grippy, comfortable, and reliable even when wet. And the Kydex sheath system makes it easy to pull out quickly, without struggling to draw such a big blade. What really makes the Chete special is balance. A lot of tools this powerful end up too heavy or bulky to carry regularly. But this one hits the sweet spot. Serious chopping muscle while still being portable enough to actually keep in your survival kit. When you know you'll face big cutting tasks, this machete is the one you'll want. If there's one thing preppers can't risk, it's fire. Matches get soggy, butane lighters fail in the cold or wind, and once you're stuck without a flame, survival gets 10 times harder. That's where the Ignix MK-01 multi-tool arc lighter shines. It skips the unreliable stuff and uses a dual plasma arc system that reaches 2000 degrees Celsius. Basically, it'll ignite materials that most lighters struggle with, even in rain, wind, or high altitude. But the MK-01 isn't just a lighter, it's like a survival kit in your pocket. It packs a compass with a samarium cobalt needle for accuracy, even in tricky magnetic fields. With a 175-degree wide beam and 3 brightness modes, perfect for campsite setup or signaling in emergencies. Power comes from a 500 mAh battery, rechargeable via USB-C. Users do note you need to keep the port clean of debris, but that's a small price for what it delivers. The magic of this tool is in its integration. Instead of carrying a lighter, a compass, and a flashlight separately, you've got all 3 essentials in one rugged, weatherproof package. And in survival, fewer moving parts means fewer chances of failure. It's compact, reliable, and designed for those moments when you really can't afford things to go wrong. After fire and cutting tools, the next challenge is carrying everything efficiently. Most standard backpacks aren't built for tactical or survival scenarios. They're either too bulky, too flimsy, or simply not organized for quick access under stress. The Elite Guardian EDC backpack solves that problem with a 25-liter capacity designed specifically for survivalists. One standout feature is the concealed carry compartment with ambidextrous access. That means you can securely carry a firearm while keeping the pack looking low profile, crucial in urban survival where you don't want to look like you're carrying tactical gear. The pack itself is built tough, using 1000D nylon that can take abuse. Users like the MOLLE compatibility and internal organization that keeps gear easy to reach, though some do point out that when you load it up fully, the weight adds up. Still, it has thoughtful touches like a padded laptop compartment that fits up to 17 inches. Overall, it's one of those bags that doesn't just carry gear, it organizes your readiness. Alright, after fire, let's get back to cutting tools. Because honestly, no survival setup feels complete without a solid knife. The BPS Knives Beta is one of those no-nonsense blades that just works. It's built from D2 tool steel, hardened to 60 to 61 HRC, which basically means it stays sharp for a really long time, even after heavy use. So, you're not stuck sharpening it every other day in the field. The blade itself is just under 4 inches, and that size hits a sweet spot. It's long enough for light chopping or batoning wood, but still short enough to handle fine tasks like slicing food, cleaning game, or repairing gear. People who've used it love the build quality and especially the micarta handle, which stays grippy even when wet. That gives you control for detail work while still letting you swing it for camp chores. What actually makes the Beta stand out for preppers is simple. It's dependable. When you're out for long stretches without sharpening gear, you need a knife that keeps cutting. And with D2 steel, this one holds up way better than softer stainless options. Basically, if you're building a kit that's meant to last through extended survival scenarios, the Beta is the kind of knife you'll be glad to have on your side. Now, here's a piece of gear that looks totally ordinary but secretly doubles up when needed. The 511 Kubaton Tactical Pen. At first glance, yeah, it's just a pen. You twist it open, and it writes smoothly with its pressurized ink cartridge, so it works even upside down or in rough conditions. But here's the kicker. It's also a discreet self-defense tool. The body is made from anodized aluminum, which is lightweight but strong, and it's textured for grip. That pummel grip texture basically lets you hold it firmly if you ever need to use it as a blunt instrument. It's 5.4 inches long, weighs just over an ounce, and even has a steel pocket clip so you can carry it like a regular pen. What makes it clever is that it's completely non-threatening. You can walk into an office, a plane, or a meeting with it clipped to your shirt. So yeah, you're upgrading your writing experience and your personal safety at the same time. And since it comes from 511 Tactical, a trusted name for military and law enforcement gear, you know it's not just a gimmick. It's a serious piece of EDC kit. Alright, so here's the deal. Most survival knives are always a compromise. They're either too big, too small, too heavy, or missing features. But the MSK1 modular knife system takes a completely different approach. It's basically a knife and a survival kit, all in one package. The blade itself is rugged and versatile, but what makes it shine is the removable handle survival kit tucked inside. It packs 20 essential items, things like a ferro rod, fishing gear, water purification tablets, and 35 feet of utility line. So instead of trying to remember to pack all those tiny items separately, they're literally part of your knife. The sheath system is also smart, offering multiple carry options so you can mount it however works best for you. And users say the build quality is top-notch. It gives you this confidence that it'll handle whatever you throw at it. What really makes it stand out is peace of mind. With the MSK1, you're not just carrying a blade, you're carrying a system. Basically, even if you forget half your kit, this knife ensures you still have survival basics ready to go. For preppers, that's the kind of backup that can make all the difference when things go sideways. Next up is something big and bold. The Titan Survival Ferrocerium Firestarter. Unlike tiny ferro rods that burn out quickly, this one is a full-sized beast. 5 inches long and half an inch thick. That means it's built to last, with the ability to spark over 12,000 times. Now, this thing isn't just about size. It throws 3,000-degree sparks strong enough to light up damp tinder, magnesium shavings, or emergency fire cubes. Even in rain, it works like a charm. You just scrape it with the back of your knife and boom, you've got fire roaring in no time. The handle is where it gets even smarter. It's wrapped in 9 feet of survivor cord, which isn't just regular paracord. This stuff hides snare wire, fishing line, and waxed jute inside. So you're not only carrying a fire starter, you've also got backup cordage and tinder literally built in. People love it because it's reliable, long-lasting, and multifunctional. Basically, if you're planning for long-term survival, this is the kind of fire starter that won't run out on you halfway through. For preppers, that's priceless, because out in the wild, fire is life, and this tool makes sure you've always got it. Moving on to the MKC Battle Goat, a knife that's been making waves in the survival and outdoor crowd. This one comes straight out of Montana, built from Magna-Cut stainless steel, a material that's prized for keeping an edge sharp while resisting rust. It strikes a smart balance, powerful enough for tactical use but practical enough for day-to-day carry, so you don't feel like you're hauling around an oversized blade. Weighing in at under 3 ounces with a 3.5-inch blade, it's light enough for long treks without tiring out your hand. People who've bought it often mention how razor-sharp it is straight out of the box, and how the G10 handle, with its angled texture, stays grippy even in rain or sweat. Add to that the fact that it's made in the US and comes backed by MKC's Generations program, which covers a lifetime warranty and free sharpening. Now, some folks with larger hands say they wish the handle were a touch bigger, and at $325, it's definitely on the pricier side. But here's the trade-off. Montana Knife Company will resharpen and maintain this knife for as long as you own it. That makes the upfront cost easier to swallow, because this isn't just a one-and-done tool. It's something you'll have for years, almost like it evolves with you. Next up, the Thyrm CellVault 18. At first glance, it looks like a small container, but if you're running high-powered tactical flashlights, this little case could end up being a lifesaver. It's specifically built to hold 18,650 and 18,350 rechargeable batteries, the kind used in those heavy-duty, high-lumen flashlights. The design is clever. It uses dual-layer protection and has small side windows so you can quickly see if your batteries are inside without opening it. It clips onto moly webbing and barely takes up space, which is a blessing when your pack's already weighed down with gear. With an IPX7 waterproof rating, it'll keep your pricey batteries safe and dry, even if you're submerged for half an hour. The details really seal the deal, like the sturdy metal latch that won't give out, foam padding that keeps things from rattling, and US-made construction that feels solid in hand. Sure, some people think $25 is steep for what looks like just a battery case. But if your flashlight has to work without fail, it's a small price to pay. Bonus: the foam insert also doubles as a sound dampener, which is perfect if stealth matters. Now let's talk about the Ops Core SOTR, which stands for Special Operations Tactical Respirator. This isn't your average hardware store dust mask. It's made to guard against some nasty stuff like lead, asbestos, and even residue from gunfire. With a filtration rating of 99.97%, it's built for when clean air isn't guaranteed. What makes it unique is the centrally mounted filter, which you can swap out one-handed without losing focus. The design also keeps your weapon interface clear, so it won't get in the way during operations. Field users like the two exhalation valves that make breathing easier over time, and the silicone facepiece that molds to different faces for a secure seal. Other strong points? It integrates smoothly with night vision goggles and helmets, works alongside comm headsets, and is tough enough for demanding tactical environments. The downsides? Well, it's a big investment price-wise, and some users say it feels stiff at first until you break it in. If you don't need integrated comms, the standard version keeps things simpler and a bit cheaper. Either way, it's designed to keep you breathing safely when the air turns dangerous. Next on the list is the M48 Tactical Tomahawk. At first glance, it looks aggressive, and it definitely earns its place in a survival kit. The head is made from 2 CR13 stainless steel, giving you a wide chopping blade on one side and a piercing spike on the other. That basically doubles its usefulness, whether you're splitting wood or breaking through barriers. Users often mention how surprisingly well-balanced it is for throwing. It'll stick whether it lands with the blade or the spike. Weighing in at just 1.5 pounds, it's light enough to carry without weighing you down, but still hits hard when you need it. The head is secured to a fiberglass reinforced handle with 3 bolts, keeping it rock solid through repeated use. And the best part? At under $100, it's more accessible than most tactical tools of its kind. One thing worth noting: the handle grip can get a little slick in wet conditions, so a lot of people wrap it in paracord for extra control. Still, with or without mods, it proves itself to be more than just an axe. It's been put to use for camping, breaching, and even home defense when called for. Now let's move to the Savior Equipment Compact Sema, a range bag that takes organization seriously. This isn't your typical soft-sided duffel. It's a backpack-style range bag built around a lightweight polymer frame strong enough to handle up to 50 pounds without collapsing on your gear. Even better, it does all of this in a footprint that's about 30% smaller than Savior's full-size Pro Sema. Inside, you'll find 3 padded pistol sleeves that can hold even big handguns like a Desert Eagle, plus a lockable compartment for extra security. The high-visibility interior makes it easy to find what you need, and the removable core light pouches let you set up your storage exactly how you like it. Users also call out the writable ID patches for easy labeling and the front mesh pockets for quick access to smaller essentials. Here's the catch. At $130, it sits in the premium range bag category, and because of its rigid frame, it doesn't compress down when empty the way a soft bag would. But what you get in return is stability and protection that soft bags simply can't match. In short, this bag is built for shooters who want serious organization, not just a place to dump their gear. Here's one you don't see every day: the Semper Invicta Pactum. At first glance, it just looks like a fancy umbrella. But dig a little deeper and you'll find it's actually a discrete ballistic shield built to NIJ-2A standards, which means it can stop 9mm rounds in 0.40 S and W. The whole idea is to look like you're carrying something ordinary while actually being protected, which is why it's popular with executive security and close protection professionals. But this thing isn't just about blocking bullets. It's been used in crowd control, deflecting bottles or bricks, and even shielding VIPs while hustling them to safety. The craftsmanship is serious business too. It's handmade in France with carbon fiber, titanium grade 5, and aramid fabric. It can handle 100 kilos of pressure and shrug off winds up to 200 kilometers per hour. Tough doesn't even begin to cover it. Now, here's the trade-off. It weighs around 4.5 kilos, which is just under 10 pounds. That's heavy compared to a normal umbrella. And the price tag? Firmly in the luxury zone of tactical gear. So yeah, not something the average person needs. But for the folks who require protection without drawing attention, the Pactum is a smart, capable, and well-engineered tool. Next up is the Streamlight ProTac 2. On paper, it's just a flashlight, but in practice, it's far from ordinary. This little beast cranks out 2,000 lumens and throws a beam nearly 860 feet. That's enough to light up a trail, flood an entire room, or even signal across a distance. Yet it's compact enough to carry on your belt without feeling like you're hauling gear from a movie set. What really sets it apart is the rechargeable SLB50 battery pack. You can charge it right inside the flashlight via USB-C, or pull the battery out and charge it separately. Streamlight also added their 10-tap programming, letting you tweak how the switch cycles through brightness modes. The ProTac 2 is built like a tank. Aircraft-grade aluminum body, IP67, rated against water and dust, and multiple runtime settings ranging from 2.5 hours on high to 25 hours on low. The only catch? That 2,000 lumen blast can be almost too much for up-close tasks. Bottom line, this isn't for casual use. It's for pros who need reliable, no-compromise light when the dark really matters. Now let's talk about something that feels more like a piece of functional art. The Ti-FST from Prometheus Design Works. At heart, it's a titanium fire starting tool, but it doubles as a rugged survival capsule. It weighs just 2.3 ounces, thanks to aerospace-grade G5 titanium, but the durability is off the charts. The body splits into two sealed compartments. One side is sized for ferro rods or strike-anywhere matches, while the other carries a German-made barrel sharpener for prepping tinder. The cap even has a tiny oil-filled compass, so you've always got navigation handy. Its hexagonal anti-roll design keeps it steady, and the knurling doubles as a striking surface for matches. Users rave about how watertight it is. The O-ring seals keep everything dry. And the titanium construction means you'll never worry about rust. Downsides? The precision machining and premium material make it pricey, and the storage compartments can feel snug for bigger fire rods. Still, the consensus is clear. The Ti-FST is beautifully made, insanely tough, and feels like carrying an heirloom-quality tool. For people who value craftsmanship as much as survival utility, it's a standout. Next in line is the Prime Adventure Tactical Survival Stick. At first, it looks like a basic trekking pole, but inside it's hiding a lot more. Made from 6061T6 aluminum, it's strong. Tensile strength of 45,000 psi, yet still practical for hiking or mobility support. The clever part is the modular design. Hidden inside the tubes are 15 different tools: a knife, glass breaker, fire starter, compass, whistle, screwdrivers, and more. It adjusts from 28.7 inches up to 54.7, so you can tweak the length for different uses. It even comes with a tactical canvas bag to carry everything. People like that, it actually supports full body weight, making it dependable as a real walking stick. The rust and heat-resistant aluminum keeps it solid in rough conditions. On the flip side, depending on how you configure it, the stick can get heavier than a standard hiking pole. But for most, the trade-off is worth it. Instead of carrying a bunch of separate tools, you've got them all built into one rugged, multi-use stick. Now let's check out the Maxpedition TT22 backpack. a 22-liter pack built to handle both everyday carry and outdoor missions. It's made from 500D ballistic nylon with a triple polyurethane coating, which makes it both tough and water-resistant without being oversized. What's cool about this pack is the dual access setup. You can load it from the top like a standard bag or unzip the front to open the whole main compartment at once. Inside, there's a laptop sleeve for devices up to 15 inches, plus a concealed carry pocket with access from both sides. The quick-release shoulder buckles make it easy to get on and off, and there are extra mesh pockets inside for organizing small gear. And it's durable, weatherproof, backed by a lifetime warranty, and built with the reputation Maxpedition has among tactical users. The downsides? At 2.1 pounds, it's heavier than lightweight hiking packs, and compared to other Maxpedition models, the organization is simpler. Some users also point out the front zipper panel doesn't hold heavy items very well. Still, for most people, it nails the balance between ruggedness and versatility. Whether you're running around the city or hitting the trails, the TT22 makes a dependable mid-size pack, especially now that closeout prices are bringing extra value. The Survive Permanent Match is not just a fire starter. It's a tactical innovation designed to leave your friends and family in awe. This unique lighter is the perfect gadget for igniting campfires, stoves, gas grills, and barbecues, making it matchless in its category. Say goodbye to traditional matchsticks and upgrade your fire-starting game with this indispensable tool. Compact and easy to carry, the Survive Permanent Match boasts a mini portable size, weighing a mere 0.5 ounces. Built for resilience, this tactical match is lightweight, waterproof, weatherproof, windproof, and stormproof. It sparks in the wind, performs when wet or cold, and conquers all types of weather conditions. The canister is reusable and refillable, offering a perma-long, endless life with an impressive lifespan of 15,000 strikes. So that was our video on the 30 tactical survival gear you should consider for survival situations. Let us know your favorite pick in the comment section, as we'd love to hear from you. And as for everything else, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.